exactly what they would do anyway by doing that individually by yourself, reducing cell pressure, keeping it off market, da 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 da. Other than burning it,
I
I
just
mean,
thought of something. I just thought of a good idea. Maybe we can pitch it to him. Instead of staking it in Icosa contract Hedron pool, he can go stake that leftover Hedron over on Hex Marketplace.
That's a good idea. I love it.
Well,
well,
I have a quick word about that.
And oh, go ahead, Flaw.
Yeah, so that's actually something I've been thinking about recently. It's like, should we be upset with people like creating things that like don't provide the maximum value to the maximum amount of people within the ecosystems that we participate in? And I actually don't think that we should. I think when we're dealing with like decentralized, trustless products, people are allowed to siphon off or create things that I guess, yeah, siphon off value in the way that's maximally beneficial for them. And the cool thing about like the Hedron Icosa hex system is that any way that you try to siphon off value from the system, even if it's maximally beneficial for that individual person or entity, there are ways where value distributes to other people. So for the specific example with Poly doing maybe a large Hedron stake, the trade-off in that case, the benefit that they're providing, the value that they're providing is Hedron locked up that can't be sold on the market. And actually, it's an amplified amount of deferred sell pressure because most people have a 90-day lockup period, but these stakes will pretty much be locked up for 15 years. So that's like a 15-year Hedron stake, which doesn't exist for any individual actor. And the benefit that they get from that is just the volume of Hedron that is going into that stake that's been pooled by the community. Yeah.
Sure.
well, it
Well,
really
what
is
would
big.
your answer be to just staking it over on Hex Marketplace and not diluting the Icosa participants um, in the Hedron pool, and then they'd earn Ethereum or whatever the fuck you earn over there, and that could be good for Poly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's definitely an option. I guess it's just how much volume is the question is the volume on that system, right? So you're comparing the yield on Hex Marketplace versus like the yield on on the staking via the Icosa contract, and we know for sure how many HSIs are going to be in the liquidation auction. For X amount of time, and we can kind of defer the amount of yield from there. And so, if they're trying to maximize the benefit for the people participating in their system, it seems like they're going to go towards the one that they can predict a little bit more, at least at this given point in time. But if there was more volume on Hex Marketplace, like I think that's a viable option too. Once that system gets more readily established.
What's up? I've been, yeah, I don't know. You guys have been saying so much. I mean, I'm kind of hearing interesting. I'm working through. You guys are saying there's a lot going on. I'm even seeing like with all these auctions. I'm kind of seeing how people who are paying closer to the like to the actual base value of an HSI they're probably not going to do anything but stake their Icosa. Like if you're paying over the HSI base value for a stake, it seems less likely that you're going to want to mint Icosa because you're basically losing money at that point. You're kind of going backwards. So it doesn't really make sense, at least in my mind, to get Icosa out of that if you're if you're paying more than the base HSI. So I'm hearing what you guys are saying. It's just an interesting theory going on in my head here. And if there's a lot of these bigger stakes, I'm wondering if, and where I'm going with this, is a lot of these bigger stakes, people are willing to overpay for them because they want, like with Poly or with a bigger whale, there's the possibility that some of these bigger stakes don't actually end up getting recycled back into Icosa, is what I'm kind of thinking right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you would be whittling your own defeat in the auctions by giving away your power of availability of being able to bid whenever you want versus an entity that has more gas than you availability to keep bidding on these lower ones that you can afford as a smaller player, and they're coming just directly for you. They ain't going for the bigger guys. They ain't going for the ones where all that competition's going to be at. They're going to keep overbidding the smaller guys until they defeat you and take those ones from you. They got more gas. Eventually, after all these overbids on them, you're not going to be available to afford to keep bidding on it until they win. So there may be like a certain amount of competition that they will deploy on all these littler ones that don't demand so much competition. It's pretty much what they'd said while they were in here. They weren't shying from it. It was established that that's what they were going to do.
So to get the poly, you need hedron. So there's going to be a huge, big snowball effect that they're going to create. This might be the catalyst which brings in a lot of the other hexagons to push the price of hedron up. The people who are minting, the sharks that are minting a lot of hedron might be tempted to sell hedron, which redistributes the hedron to people. I mean, I see it as a net benefit, just simply because the price of hedron is going to there's going to be a lot of buy pressure on hedron. Is that not right?
Yeah, that's a part of it for sure. Absolutely. Because like I was saying before, is like no matter how you see it as a community member that's already doing it as an individual, or somebody that just sees a lazy way out so they can participate without participating, they're gonna take advantage of that. They're gonna do that. Why?
I express to you, I'm possibly fall into that category, that I'm someone who doesn't want to spend a lot of time getting stressed over watching, researching, missing a bid, then being outbid. So actually, it might encourage more people to participate, because those who were going to sit on the sidelines might be encouraged. I mean, I've said this before, but I see this community and the network of tokenomics that are building up around this community. And I'm talking about Hedron and Icosa specifically. I don't see anything wrong with anything. It's like everything seems to be a net benefit at the moment. More people come in, price of Hedron goes up. People who don't necessarily want to do all the research, who are going to sit on the sidelines, can now get involved. That means that they are using their Hedron to go in. I just think that every move in this ecosystem, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it can go wrong. It can. It just depends on how many times you dilute a pool. Because eventually, if you don't have that positive feedback loop that closes, then it leads for one of the assets, the end result asset, to be the dump token. And after that one can't handle all the dumping, it moves up to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And we've seen that happen in cycles before when you build like in that way. So you kind of have to have some sort of good idea, yeah, but it has to have longevity, right? And the core of the assets that you build on top of are what going to garner you that longevity. So you know how we look at the OA and look at the SA, kind of like how their behavior is, and like make judgment based off of that type of behavior, which luckily for all of us, pretty much all the behavior that's happened was beneficial to the community. When other entities or community members that have built something come in, then they'll probably be garnering the same type of judgmental look, and they should. right? They know what they're getting themselves into, right? We're all still hexagons in some sort of way, right? And they know what they're getting themselves into. So having these types of conversations, even including them in the conversations, so we can like have this heart to heart, is good, right? For everybody, in my opinion. Everyone's going to have different opinions. And because of that indifference of opinions, there's going to be like a rift in the community of those that believe that the individuality of the reasons why we are involved in crypto is very important, and they're going to hold on to that. And then those that see the easy way of being able to handle things without being so complicated. There's obviously two sides to that coin, and I don't decide to sit on one or the other when it comes to speaking publicly about it. But obviously, I'm making my own decisions. So I have to like clarify context in the realms of which I'm speaking in when I speak about certain things. So today was me in public form and not in personal form, right? On what I would do, right? But I do have to speak at least as a community member for Icosa community members when another community is injecting themselves and getting involved, whether we were brought into the conversations to have our opinions heard or not. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant at this point. They're getting involved. They're going to be involved, and we need to extract the positives of what that is, and how we as individual people in the community can utilize them to our advantage. Now, in that suggestion, personally speaking, I would say that without participating, I want to be able to utilize them to be able to gain advantage for the individual, not the pooled group so much. The pooled group gains an advantage as well, but to incentivize us to participate with it by giving an advantage for us as individuals as well. Right? That would make a lot more sense to garner the success rate of whatever it is that they're building, to have actual participation from the community as it sits. Because you can just stake. We're not being superficial in the understanding that you don't have to be the one that participates in every aspect. All that's required is some participation from the community in the first place. So you can stake, not deal with all the complicated shit of the bidding and going for the HSIs and having the options of using the buyback function and all these other complicated things. But just because other people are doing it and you're just staked, you'll be rewarded in the amount of yield that you get coming into your staking profile every day. That those that were utilizing those assets to do something other than stake with weren't getting that advantage that you now get as a participating community member. So there's multiple different things that you could be doing in this community, right, as an Icosa community member, and not have to worry about this thing that doesn't actually fix a problem, because you don't have a fucking problem. There's no problem that's being fixed by the addition that's being brought in by the actual individual community member, in my opinion, in my personal opinion. So I will act as an Icosa community member, not being rewarded for just being an Icosa member by this addition. Knowing that there will be some sort of participation is now my competition as an individual Icosa community member and Hedron community member and Hex community member. Right? They'll come in, they'll have their thing, and between the competition between me and them and us as community members that decide to be individuals instead of pooled, will become the competition, right? Until you're gone, until you're not allowed to, or you don't have the availability or structured availability to take any more value from the competition that you presumably took a position in the auctions in the first place. But because I'm going to always sit on the side that we need to feed the monster that creates the yield for the stakers. And those are the participants that I want to mainly focus on, is the staking participants that are the ones that get the yield while the inflationary period is actually fucking happening, while I'm explaining to you when events happen and why they're happening and why it's advantageous for you as the individual to at least participate in the staking of it, that all the rest of it is just like a fucking cloud mirror and cloud magic fucking show to you. And it should be. The rest of the stuff that's happening with the auctions doesn't necessarily have to be so damn important to you as an Icosa community member that participates in the staking, which is the fucking protocol, right? The buyback thing and utilizing the auctions and stuff like that is the Hedron community, right? We're in the general understanding of what happens to the Hedron community themselves by Icosa existing. So the participation and the success rate of Icosa is primarily going to exist based off of the individual participant. And it was designed, and we educate and teach people how to get those advantages as an individual, because something like Poly didn't exist before, right? So why would we go through all this great work to teach you and find out the advantages of why you would do this as an individual in the very first place, and why we would garner your participation as a hexagon in the very first place, and how to do all these things and prepare for all these events that are happening in the future, if we knew that this other thing was going to come up to make it so damn easy to participate but lose all of your availability of individual optionality? Give up. It's like literal government saying, why don't you give up some of your rights to us, and then we'll just promise you an available outcome in the future and tell you that you should have no expectations of profit at the same time. It's questionable in its own regard. And I do kind of feel a certain personal way, like Jawa does, when we understand how crucial the auctions are, and an entity comes in with the purpose to take those HSIs out of there that were put in there, not by them, but by the community, the Icosa community members that wanted to stake and build this money printer, or if you want to call it a mining piece of equipment. It makes sense to me, because that's what we've been teaching people. To take that away from them through this other shiny object, it's not going to be lost on me that that's what that really is, period. Yeah, there may be benefits occurred to it, and yes, you may have to realize that that's the reality of what's going to happen anyway, that there might be benefits to it. But those benefits already existed previous to them even existing in the first place. So don't be fooled that they can ride the coattails of some protocol that already exists as an individual. Like I said, we've been doing nothing but educating as many people as we can as how you as an individual can utilize these protocols and be able to have all these options to do what you want with all these things in the very, very first place. So those advantages are already built in to the protocol, period. And the fact that it's so knowing that there's a high success rate and how it's all built, that some other, entity comes in and tries to centralize some of the ownership so they have some control over it by garnering our participation, is obviously going to have, you're going to have to, they're going to have to do a better job to garner my participation when I speak personally about it. Period. But I would love to see them build something in the future that actually incentivizes, like, me as an Icosa community member to get more involved with it, or get actually involved with it. Because I could just do all the shit that they're doing by myself. And I don't even have to participate in the damn auctions to get rewarded in the first place. The fact that I know that there's going to be participation is more than enough for me to get involved with the protocol. Period.
For me, it's just kind of I want to support Alex, and like I just feel like every time he builds something, like he had to fight all the FUD in the beginning of Hedron launching. Basically, he was the first one to market, and then he took all the FUD, and then Maxi comes along, and everybody fucking loves Maxi. It's like, okay, that's fine, whatever, the people have spoken there, right? And eventually people came around to Hedron, and then Icosa launches, and boom, it's a success, right? And like people are excited about it, and then bam, as soon as the very first auction fucking comes up, boom, so fucking right, right along comes another thing, right? And it's just like, man, just leave the poor guy alone. Let him fucking build his shit, and let's see how it does. Let's fucking see it in its own purity without any kind of molestation. That's all I'm saying. And I'm speaking from my own perspective of how I think I would want shit to go if it were my coin, right? Or my token. Is somebody else speaking?
I was hoping to get more of that value than that.
What was that? Sorry, somebody's mic was open.
All right. I truly have to go. Anyway, I'm like 30 minutes past. All right. Later, guys.
So, could I say that I'm pro them making
Adios.
because I want the Watsa payout rewards. Is that an okay thing to say?
So my answer to that is,
Oh, can I
like I
interrupt?
said earlier.
Can I just interrupt real quick since I have to go? To that, if they hold it for 15 years and they don't keep adding to it, there won't be a bonus on that particular stake that they have anyway, because it's going to be so diluted after 15 years that the Watson pool is a reward for those guys in the poly thing anyway.
I was talking about if they afterwards they went and I thought the whole argument was about them like after this creating a protocol just for staking like Icosa.
Oh no, they didn't really talk about that quite yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Would you be down for that?
If it was to incentivize the buyback function, then yeah. Because I'm a staker, right? I'm a long-term holder. I'm a staker. I will provide liquidity for people to be able to get in and get out, and I will onboard people when those things need to happen. And I'll do this shit right. We'll know, and I'm not the only one, right? So I'm not really worried about the longevity of the projects, I guess. And these guys are gonna be here anyway, so we have to just accept it and deal with it. Just whether they're going to continue to keep trying to do that with the new stuff that keeps getting built is all based off of whether we as a community actually decide to participate with it or not. Do we lose the advantage of individual, optionality, or do we progress into this cran eating contest? Anyway, I gotta go. Sorry for interrupting.
No.
And eating contest. I like that. That was well said, Executioner.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna go in with Polly. I kind of want to go do the legwork and be like one of the lunatics, staying up, taking Adderall, and watching the auctions. I don't know.
That's the spirit.
Dude, that sounds like a fucking good time, dude. Have a cup of coffee next to you, be tweaking out, be like refreshing the page, clicking all around.
3 different computer screens going at the same time. Now you're talking.
Yeah, nobody even knows how the front end's gonna look either. So like, it's gonna be interesting. No practice.
I think I have my own little strategy that I'm coming up with. I'm sure I'm going to have to completely toss it out the window the day of, but like I have a couple ideas.
I have some ideas of what I'm gonna do, but I'd rather not tell you, and I'd rather get you to believe an idea that will help benefit me that you think that I'm gonna do.
My strategy is to overpay. I'm going to go in there and overpay by 10% of what I would think is a good deal. That way, I just win right away.
Just hopefully like gas fees push a lot of people out from outbidding you. And like kind of like place a bid and pray.
What's the worst that happens? They overbid me and then I get paid back.
Yeah.
You remember back in the day when on eBay having bid snipers where you could go in at the last second and program a bot to go in there and win a bid, where it would be nice if we could make something like that and it would work with the protocol, but
Yeah, it just extends it. Alex thought of that for sure with the 5 minute addition to the bid or to the auction. You
yeah,
can still do that
that
on
guy thinks
eBay. You can still go in at the last minute and just like bid it up way past where you hope they wouldn't bid up to, and you'll win it at your lowest bid.
On eBay, there's a really good site called justsnipe.com, which places a bid 5 seconds before, so you can basically automate it. And I think you get 3 free snipes every month, or it's $5 a month if you do lots of eBay bidding. But we need that's all justsnipe.com. We need just Watson. Sorry, just Icosa.com. Like you said, we need some snipe software for the auctions.
Yeah, but you can't snipe it because it extends the auction by 5 minutes.
Yeah, maybe it could do a counter bid. If someone else outbids you, you bid up to your maximum price. So you put in your maximum price for that particular one, and it will keep outbidding someone else.
it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to do. Just have to load it up with a bunch of gas money.
If I'm lucky enough to score an auction, does it produce Hedron as well?
I mean, it depends on that particular HSI. There could be HSIs on there that have only 90 days worth of Hedron on it, or like if they just created it that day. Or there could be older HSIs that have 200 days on it. You know what I mean? So, like, it all depends.
But it incurs it after though, right? After I buy it.
Yeah, I mean, like, an HSI every day earns Hedron, right? So, like, every day that passes, it's earning more and more. So. But at a bare minimum, all these HSIs will have 90 days worth of Hedron on it because they've been there for 90 days. Or is it 30 days? Sorry. I think it's 30 days. I don't remember. Has it been 3 months or has it been a month? I don't know. I've just been working.
3 months, brother.
3 months.
90 days. Good Lord.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Or when you're just overworked and tired and old. Yeah, time flies, all right. I remember
The
being in
fun
my
part,
30s. I'm in my mid 40s.
the fun part was in quotation marks.
Oh, okay. I'm looking forward to the bull run so I can actually take a real vacation. I've never taken a fucking real vacation, I don't think. Maybe once, but I don't remember it.
Right?
Unless you count the 10 months that I took off. I quit my job, collected all my 401k, and then lived like an idiot, like not paying bills, thinking that Pulse Chain was going to launch. I mean, that really wasn't a vacation when you get yelled at by the wife every day. Lessons learned. Learn not to ever do that again. Just quit your job just because. But although I will say, I wanted access to my whole 401k, right? Like I had 8 years or 9 years worth of 401k built up. I wanted all of it so that I could participate with Pulse Chain and Pulse X sacrifices. We'll see if that was the smartest move in the world or the dumbest move in the world. We'll see. I think it was the smartest.
A lot of people missed out on Pulse Chain sacrifice.
I went big, man. Like I was already, I actually took out my 401k so that I could. I was just getting into crypto in general, right? I was in ADA, XRP, you name it, right? And then I discovered Hex and Richard. And then it was right at that time that he was talking about Pulse Chain, right? And then, shit, man, I fucking took all my ADA and put it into the Pulse Chain sacrifice. I still held on to my XRP though. I was just like, oh, maybe that's the one still. We'll see. But that kind of changed. My whole outlook on things changed just by watching more Richard.
Yeah, Joe, I did the same with a portion of my ADA, and I think we did very well because at Pulse Chain, I think it was trading at around. I think I sacrificed at about 139, and it's down to what 40 cents now.
Yeah. It was like 131 when I cashed out, I think. No, like what was its high point though? It was like almost three. I think it was $3. Like I didn't hit the top, that's for sure. But still. I mean, I was still learning. You'd think I'd know this shit by now, but like, because I was in Bitcoin in 2013, and then I funded myself out by listening to family members and my girlfriend at the time. And, it's just a fucking fake internet money scam. So I just cashed out and I was done with it for years. And then I rediscovered crypto when it was like 2017 when everybody was talking about it. And then I was just gonna do Bitcoin, and I didn't. I listened to a friend, and he told me Ethereum's the shit. So I was like, okay. Also, I just fucking bought. I bought like 6 Ethereum at the top. So it was like almost 7 grand, and then I just held on to it all the way down to like it was $90 at the bottom, I think. I just held it all the way down there, and I fucking like would check my shit every once in a while, like once a month, just depressed that I fucking made the dumbest move in the world. But I never stole it. I waited, and I waited all the way till the markets came back, and I actually made a little profit on it. So it all worked out, but it took a while, a long time. Felt like forever. But this bear market I know better now. I know not to sell a goddamn thing and buy more, right? There's like fucking 50 people in here and nobody's talking to me. That's rude.
I don't think you want to buy more. You want to buy Hex, Icosa, or Hedron.
I don't know, man. I'm definitely a Hedron, Icosa, Watsa, Hexbacks, and like those are my four main things. And Ethereum, of course, I'll have a little of that, but I don't know. Like, if everything works out with Pulse Chain launch and everything, I'll probably dabble. I'll probably get my ADA back just in case, kind of like a hedge, in case ADA's the one, right? Fucking Africa adoption, who knows, right? I'll probably at least get my bags back, what I
Yeah,
had.
maybe we'll have a working DApp by then. That'd be really cool.
I don't
I'm
hate
sorry, I've been in
Hoskins.
crypto for a long time. I remember that one meme, like where they had who was it, the Tron guy, and they had Charles Hoskinson in the same picture, and then they're like meme this picture, and Richard goes vaporware and fucking a copy and paste. That's what vaporware and copy and paste.
I
All the
think a
ADA kids being excited
Hoskinson,
about Sunday swap,
Richard
and then it's a
Hart.
rug.
I think a Hoskinson and Richard Hart stream would be fucking fire. I think it would be awesome because like Hoskinson, he's a big dork, man. Like, but he's not stupid either, and he has decent ideals. So I don't know. I think they would agree on more than they disagree. Let's just put it that way.
I don't know. I did some like just basic research. Have you ever read Into the Ether?
No.
You can read the stories about what all the other people who worked with Charles before said about him. He would go around like whispering to people that he was actually Satoshi Nakamoto and shit. Yeah.
What if he is? He is into that Asian shit. Have you noticed? He's like deep into
Dude,
the fucking
no.
Japanese
He's
shit.
younger than that, dude. He just dresses old. He was like 18, 19 when he started with Ethereum.
Yeah, how old was Vitalik? Fucking 15.
He was 16 or 17. Yeah.
Yeah, Hoskinson's aged, that's for sure. He looks a lot older than he is.
Yeah, he's only 34. Holy shit.
I look younger and I'm 44.
Dude brought dad bod to a whole nother level.
And then he dresses like a total dork too with his fucking cowboy gear. Man, it's something else.
Hi everyone.
Yeah,
Sorry
man.
for
I dumped all my ADA for Hex. I don't even know why I had ADA. I think I was left holding the bag back from 2018.
Well, let me tell you, I'll let you talk in a second, Kay. I did hear you chime in. Just let me just give this one little anecdote. My ADA, I had plans that I was gonna stake it on Celsius. Like that was gonna be my big move, right? Because like Celsius loans were a thing, like that was coming, that you could take loans out on your crypto, and like I had a big plan. I was gonna like pay off my house and all this shit. Anyway, the it finally came out that you could stake ADA on Celsius, and the fucking payouts were trash, right? It was like 5% or something. Like it was basically the same amount that you could do on your own with Daedalus. So I was like, well, all right, well, fuck it, then I'll just do it myself. What's the point? You know what I mean? Like I don't need Celsius, but like Richard Hart started talking shit about Celsius and getting into like a debate with Mashinsky, and I was like, man, maybe I should pull my shit off of Celsius. And I pulled my Bitcoin off of Celsius. I had a bunch of shit on there, Matic, whatever, right? Because I was just staking everything, earning pretty good yield on stuff. And luckily I did. You know, fucking A, man. Richard called that one. But like, if I would have lost 30 grand worth of ADA on Celsius, my family wouldn't talk to me anymore. That's for sure. So like, I'm glad I got into DeFi, true DeFi. You know, because like nobody can fucking rob me now. You know, except maybe. I mean, the IRS always robs us, but like, you know, like aside from me losing the keys or giving them up stupidly, nobody can touch my shit now. So it feels good to be in real shit. Like 95% of people in crypto still don't know that simple little thing, right? They're all using centralized exchanges and shit. And like, it's bad news. I mean, it would suck to be some of those people did lose big time, big time. They lost like tons of money, and their families probably don't talk to them anymore. You know what I mean? Because like, who knows? I think somebody killed themselves, didn't they? They lost everything.
I don't know. I think there was a lot of reports of stuff like that happening. I'm not sure how many of the reports were factual, but I wouldn't put it past me, you know?
What do you think of the conspiracy that I'm trying to think who was putting this out there. I think it was on Hexologist's show today that like the what's his fucking face? Sam Bankman is actually behind like the Luna crash and fucking Celsius and all this shit. Like he's behind it. Oh no, it was on Corey Costa talking to BitBoy today. I didn't even get to catch the whole thing, but it's interesting. Like it makes sense. I kind of agree. It probably is him behind everything. You know, maybe he is just a front man, but
I think it's possible, but I don't know. Don't exchanges already scamwick their own fucking, you know, customer base? I wouldn't be surprised if an exchange was in cahoots somehow, you know, to fuck up some projects that they found a little thread to pull that would really, you know, collapse it.
well, I mean, if they collapse it because they're exposed, like, or touched by, like, the feds, right, and they want to usher in their CBDC, they have to get everybody, like, so freaked out about security and shit that they, like, give in to the CBDC. So, what better way to do that than to, like, to just fuck everybody over and make them go broke and you know, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like it's gonna come down to some fucking serious like DeFi versus the world type shit. It's gonna be crazy.
Right. Sorry. So I'll ask the question now, if that's okay. Um, it's about some basics, but still, I just want to catch up as fast as I can. So I'm okay with how Hex works. That's simple. I know where Hedron comes from. That's simple. Um, I'm not up to date with the rest of the stuff. What would be the best source to get the most credible information to get? Either YouTube channel or some form of a
Deft Thought on YouTube. You're welcome, Siggy.
Crypto
I'll
sloth
put
is
it in
good.
chat.
yes, please.
Cryptographics. Actually, cryptographics is shit is like top tier.
Yeah, and sloth.
Yeah, thanks,
But that
guys.
might be a little bit too much room.
No, don't worry. I'm a quick learner. I'm just looking for people who make sense and talk good shit up to date. And I don't know. I don't want to
Maxim.
read something. I don't want to read something that's 4 months old and it's actually out of date anyway. So. Thank you.
Maxim.
Out of all
National
those, I'd
broadcast.
say, yeah, cryptographics, though. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, and one last question. When everyone mentions HSI stakes that are going to be auctioned off, are these the HSI stakes done on Hedron platform, or are they different?
Yeah, it's the HSIs. Like the hex stakes for sale at the auctions.
Yeah, but the HSIs themselves, they're not created anywhere else other than on hedron.pro or whatever the website is, right? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just wanted to make sure that there is no other place for HSI stakes, or does Icosa has its own HSI stakes? Although, if I remember correctly, Icosa has a front end for Hedron, right?
Yeah, Icosa. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Thank you very much.
You guys just Gifford. You're like giving advice. Some good streams to listen to. Sloth, Cryptographics,
Who
Maxim.
the fuck's Gifford? Who seriously? Who the fuck is Gifford? Can somebody tell me?
He's
a guy
actually-
he is a guy that does some. He's a guy that does some more of the technical stats on Icosa and its price of what it can do in predictions if it can break its ratios and stuff. So they do some of the more kind of like advanced stuff.
What's his name on
And they have
YouTube?
graphs and things as well.
I don't think he has his own YouTube. I think he just hops on other people's streams type thing. Kind of like Blue Bum. Blue Bum has his own.
Oh,
But
I'm so glad I could say the name Gifford and then look it up myself and not find anything related to him. Great. Yeah.
he made him sad.
He sounded a little depressed, dude. Like he was only a checkup on him, make sure he's all good.
He came up with the waterfall staking idea. Or whatever it's called. Champagne waterfall. I don't even know. It's beyond me. It's too complicated for me. I'm a simple person.
What day does the 1 p.m. 1 o'clock payout happen in your country? It's 1 o'clock. Is when the 24-hour period happens. Is that midnight for you guys, or?
7 o'clock for me, Central Standard Time.
Yep, 8 o'clock. Nice little WhatsApp payouts the last 2 days. It's been nice.
Yeah, like yesterday, Watson hit its highest payout, I think, in a while. Well, since since the creation of the 14 days not finishing, so I think it hit its highest payout.
Did we get any burn today?
Probably. That's a Dev Huey question. He posts that stuff on Twitter. I could go look quick.
He was awesome. Follow him on Twitter. Very much worth it. Anyone see that dude in like today calling me out, being like that loudmouth Watson God Mike? He's like that guy's the most likely to burn his Watsas first.
Yeah, who said that?
Some guy named Mikey. I've never even seen him.
It's name envy.
Was that today?
Yeah. He was typing in that ghost chat. I was like, wow, dude, getting called out, man. I guess if you don't have any haters, you're not like saying anything important. So
I like that. I'm gonna use that because I got plenty of haters.
I'm now on your list of haters because you won't show me favoritism. I deserve favoritism here.
Nope. Can't do it. Not gonna do it. Not at this
You
juncture.
fucking Democrat. I fucking hate you.
This is my best fucking George Bush imitation. He's not a Democrat.
Yeah, but when there's only 10,000 watts is left, you're going to get a lot more. So get ready.
Dude, the yield
I
is
went
so
and
funny to
browsed.
watch.
I went and browsed what's on OpenSea today, and I only saw one that was even worth looking at. One.
Yeah, dude, there was a whole bunch, and I was like, eyeing them, and I was texting my buddy. I was like, "Here's an exquisite piece," and I was like, 300 million points for like $1,000, and it was a good deal. It's gone. All of the $3 are gone. There's one left.
So what is 800? I think it was like 800 for 400, like $400. Does that sound good? Or did I get ripped off or something?
Wait, what?
Oh, I think I picked up like 800 million points, right? For $400.
No, you did not.
Does that sound right?
No, you probably picked up like 800,000
No.
points. You might want to double check that because there's no way you like beat me to that. I'm sorry, I don't believe it.
Yeah,
I refresh
look,
that
maybe,
page like every 5 minutes.
maybe it was 200. Anyway, yeah.
Oh yeah, that
obviously.
sounds about right. Yeah, I remember seeing that one. Yeah, 200
Yeah,
for
okay.
$800.
Is that-
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So is that a good deal or no?
Well, I would have put it in a bid, but like we're starting to get to that point where the pickings for $3 per million no longer exist. So like I guess so. Like
Right.
that's where we're at, and I think that like over the next few months we're probably going to see a bump up from here. We're going to start seeing some really good yield in there. We're probably going to see some end stakes with bonuses at some point. And then art. I bet unreasonably long on Watsas, so please take note of that.
Yeah.
I'm shilling
so
hard.
No, I think the art will have that'll be big.
Just give me like a Richard Hart dick pic. I'm going to sell it for fucking $100 per million to some Mexican.
There can be no expectations of the work of others.
I'm assuming the art's not going to come out like that fast, though. I was assuming it's probably going to take like 6 months or something. I'm going to be patient. We might not even get art. To be real, like Watsons don't even need art. Like I don't even like if it didn't get art in the end, I'd be like, all right, whatever. Well, like I could still sell it for insane gains.
The art's done, bro. Done. It's been done for a while. It's just a matter of Alex putting it on there. That's it.
Then there's been a decent amount of like selling going on OpenSea. Would you guys say like there's interest, right? Like it's not dead, right?
Well, CryptoPunks was one of the most popular NFT projects with 1 million total Ethereum traded since mid 2017, and Watsas in like 2 months have done 107 Ethereum of volume. So, or 100,000 Ethereum of volume.
Okay, yeah. I was like, oh wow, 100. That's it.
Or what was it? Can't remember. Oh yeah, no, it is 160th. So that's like $150,000 of trade. It seems pretty good for a project with no artwork. All right, boys, I'm out. Y'all have a good night.
Later. Yeah, me too. I gotta go. Good night.